Tori, and I'm so happy to be here today. How are y'all doing? I hope y'all are doing good. I hope you've had a great month, a great week, and a great day. Grab your pillow, grab your blanket, grab your coffee, your tea, your water, whatever. We got some talking to do today. And I've got my beautiful friend here. Her name is Ash. I call her Ashley Ray. And I'm so excited because first off, she's just a beautiful woman. And second, she has something special. Like, she's just special. And I feel like she'll be able to tell best who she is. But I'm really excited. I really am. I'm so excited to be here with her today. And can y'all do me a favor? Can y'all just start clapping? Like, just start clapping. I can hear you. We have Ashley right here.
Hi.
Our special guest, and I'm so excited to just speak with you, girl.
I'm excited.
How are you?
Listen, nervous and excited.
Okay, we not gonna be nervous.
But I'm good.
That's good. How was your day?
Today was a good day.
Okay.
Yeah.
We was just talking about the rain. This rain has been coming at random times.
And it's crazy.
I'm
So
over
wrong.
it.
Yeah.
I know. It's like hot and rainy
At the same time. Right? Not okay.
Not okay. So Ashley,
Yeah.
tell the people, who are you? We're kind of goofy too. We a little. So y'all laugh at this, okay? Don't leave us hanging.
Please don't.
So who are you, Ashley? Tell us who you are. What you're about.
Oh my goodness. Okay. So first of all, before I even talk about me, my history, any of that, right now, 2025,
Okay.
I have to start by saying that I'm first a daughter of the King.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's where I have to start with my
Yeah.
identity.
Yeah.
Because everything else about me is just what it is.
Yeah.
Right. But
Yeah.
first, I have to say that like I'm a daughter of the King, and I absolutely know that my daddy loves me.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
And so, but just in general, I am also after a daughter. I'm a mother.
Okay. Come on. Talk about it.
I'm a mother.
Yeah.
I had 3 girls.
Okay. What are their ages?
20.
Okay.
My middle daughter will be 15
Okay.
this year. She's got like another month and she'll be 15.
Okay.
And then I have a 4-year-old.
And why you don't even look like you have a 20-year-old? Like what?
Yes, 20.
Look at her.
20, y'all.
What?
I tell everybody it's vitamin C and Jesus.
Okay. Let me remember that.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
But definitely 20 years old. I think for me, they have been a part of my saving grace. So for every stage of my life where I felt like I didn't have direction, I didn't know where I was going, their birth is kind of what set a new trajectory for me.
Okay.
And so I still ask that. I'm like, okay, I know you said 3 girls?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. You definitely know something about me that I don't know.
Yeah.
They're all still alive. They are thriving.
They're well.
Listen, they are well, and I am grateful.
Yeah.
Outside of being a mother, I am a teacher at heart.
Okay.
And that is what I found out later in life, like in my 30s, a teacher in the classroom, a teacher of life, and a teacher in ministry.
I love that.
And so just being able, the environment of teaching brings a level of joy that I didn't even know existed until I started into that space.
I can see that. You have the personality, you have the voice.
Yeah.
Like I can listen to you.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that.
Yes, I was not always confident about my voice, right?
Right.
I heard my playback one day. I was like,
but that's me.
That's not how I sound.
Yeah, girl. Just like, why do I sound like that?
It's not, okay, so it's not just me.
It's not.
It's a thing. Okay.
It's hard for me to even play back these videos.
No, seriously. I'll record and I'm like, I don't want to, however it is, it's fine.
Yes.
We can just leave it like
oh my
that.
God, that's so funny.
But and I'm a lover of people. There's something and honestly, if I'm honest, right, I love people, but I'm also very introverted. Like I get my energy and I'm restored when I can just go home. But I recognized a while ago that you really can't minister to God's people if you're not where God's
That's
people
it.
are.
Yes, can't just be stuck in your house.
Can't be stuck in the house.
Yeah.
So I love people. I love connecting. I feel like I'm better when I'm connecting on an individual level, like we're having a conversation
Yeah,
today, right?
yeah.
Kind of one-on-one conversation.
Yeah.
And so trying to think of anything else. I mean, I'm a former a lot of things, and
Yeah.
we'll get into
Yes,
that, right?
yes,
Because
yes.
let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I didn't wake up loving God, right?
Okay,
Now,
okay. So how was
I
it before? So you didn't wake up loving God. So how was it in your early life?
oh my goodness.
Let's talk about the
Go
20s.
there. The 20s. Okay.
Yeah.
So the 20s was, and this is kind of funny. I was talking about this earlier. The 20s was a little bit ratchet.
Okay.
That's the only word I can use.
Okay.
I
Don't
was
judge
we don't please don't.
because my 20s. Listen.
I said no. I didn't wake up and God like I woke up and God loved me. I just didn't love him yet,
Yeah.
right? I was full of still a lot of love, right? But full of a lot of anger, right? My childhood ended up being very traumatic as I got a little bit older. So around 8, 9, all the way up. It was a lot of moving parts, it was a lot of moving around. It was a lot of like unmet expectations, a lot of things like that. And so by the time I got into my 20s, even at 18, by the time I finished high school, college was not like an option. It was like, no, this is what you do next.
Yeah.
Right. So I got to college, and I was doing things, but what I recognize now is the anger that came with me to college.
Okay. And where did the anger come from?
So I think the anger came from being silenced as a kid.
Okay.
So it was not like, I mean, I was born in the 80s, 90s raised me type of situation.
Yeah.
But, you live in a home with adults, they're not letting you talk, right? You're not sharing your feelings.
Yeah.
It's kind of like we grown up, so you kind of see your way out of the picture,
Right.
So I think a lot of emotional things that I really wanted to be able to express, I didn't feel free to do that, right? And it is what it is at this point. But I think the lack of me being able to verbally express what was going on internally.
Yeah.
So when I became an adult, when I got in my 20s, like Ashley was going to do what Ashley was going to do. And nobody was going to tell me that I wasn't going to do that.
Yeah.
And so even though I had a lot of friends, there was also spaces where for me, it just was not I really just was not going to take no crap from nobody.
Yeah.
Like at all.
Yeah.
And I didn't care if you were male. I didn't care if you were female. And it was kind of like this kind of weird mix because I knew a little bit about God, but it wasn't enough to
help.
Yes, right. It wasn't enough for me to decide morally that Ashley, you should probably not do this.
Yeah.
It was kind of like, yeah, I know God, but I'm gonna do this because I want my revenge right now.
Yeah.
Like I don't want to wait.
Right.
I want to do it right now. Yes,
because I'm feeling it.
Because I'm feeling it, right? And I was the person that would kind of plot out the revenge.
Oh, okay.
Listen,
what's one thing that you've done?
I ain't gonna lie. I waited like a year at one time. I plotted this kind of situation out where I felt like a guy had wronged me. Like I found him lying about some stuff, and then he decided that he would try to get with she was more of like an associate, but she was a friend of a friend, like a really good friend of mine, right?
Okay.
And so we kind of found him in a lie with her, and so I just waited. And he also had a girl that was like out of town. So he already had a girlfriend. She lived in the city he lived in.
Plus you.
Plus me at one point, which I never would date him, but we would talk.
Yeah.
And then he turned around and then started talking to the friend of a friend.
Okay.
And then we found out that his girlfriend from back home was in the same place that we were in. And it went very left.
Okay.
It's not a good ending.
Okay.
Not so much so not a good ending that he ended up arrested.
Is he still in jail?
He not in jail.
Okay.
It was campus police, but he did have to spend the night in the campus campus lockup.
Okay.
For attacking the girl. But I think he really wanted to attack me, but I don't think he was brave enough
to do that
Uh-huh.
because he saw
Yeah,
who
he
you
knew.
are
Yeah.
and what you were about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. So when I say like I was very vengeful.
Okay.
Like y'all don't be like me, okay? I just want to say that.
Yeah.
This was my 20s,
Yeah.
right? This was a lot of my 20s, and even in the process, I have a 20-year-old because I had my oldest daughter went 2 days after my 20th birthday.
Yeah.
Now that situation wasn't fully consensual, but nevertheless, I it was a thing for me that, you know, we accept our responsibility, right?
Yeah.
We take accountability for our actions and whatever that looks like. And I wasn't willing to risk the life of a child
Yeah.
because of my irresponsibility,
Yeah.
whether it was on me or whatever. I
Right.
just wasn't willing to do that. And
Mhm.
so but her being born, and that's what I was saying earlier,
Yeah.
kind of shifted that space for me
Okay.
as far as what I was doing with my life.
Yeah.
Because listen, I could have been down, I was going down that way.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Going this way.
Yeah.
No, it's not the right way.
Yeah.
But I spent a lot of my 20s. Also in my 20s, I was married at one point.
Okay.
At 24.
Okay. How was that?
You know, I married a guy that was a friend.
Okay.
And so I appreciated our friendship. I think that we were great friends. He thought the same, and it felt like that was the next step. Like that was the next thing for us to do. You know, it made sense.
Yeah.
At the time, we were 24 though.
Okay.
24 and very inexperienced.
Okay.
I say that
Both of y'all were 24?
so I turned 24 before he did,
Okay.
but I'm born in February. He's born in June, so it's
Gotcha.
kind of like
Okay.
that
Yeah,
space
yeah.
like right in there. You know,
Yeah.
born the same year.
Mhm.
And that marriage actually showed me a lot about myself. It didn't last as long as I wish it had, but it showed me it really exposed the anger. It really exposed the rage like that
Okay.
I still had
Mhm.
dealing like on internally,
What was
right?
a trigger for you?
I think at any point that I felt like I was being judged,
Mhm.
or at any point where I felt like what you were telling me about me wasn't right. It wasn't correct.
Mhm.
Or it was like misinformed.
Yeah.
It was a lot of that
Yeah.
space. Or another thing was me feeling like I wasn't being covered.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
And so if I felt like that, if I felt especially with his, in particular with family, right? So not just with his family, but also with my family. And I had this idea that like, if you're my husband, so like I need you to be on my side.
Yeah.
And that wasn't, you know, that wasn't always the case. And it wasn't really his fault as much as it was us not really understanding
Yeah.
marriage and
Yeah.
what that looked like.
Did something happen to you from your childhood to allow those feelings to show up?
Definitely. So, within my childhood, there was, it's crazy because I actually had blocked this out until like I was 30 something. But in my own childhood, like I said, I felt silenced a lot. So when things happened, for instance, there was some sexual abuse
Okay.
that happened during that time when I was a kid. And so instead of me being able to go to somebody and say something, I knew that there wasn't an opportunity for me to say something.
Okay.
When it came to even my environment with my family, I always felt like I was the kid that, as much as I tried to hide and be very quiet, that I always felt different. I always felt like I didn't really fit in with my siblings and kind of the way the family dynamics was. And so there was a lot of teasing,
Okay.
right? So there's a lot of teasing from my siblings, from even like my cousins and things like that. I had a cousin at one point that spit on me because he didn't like the way I looked, or it was wild, right?
Yeah.
This space as a kid and not really having the opportunity to go to an adult and say, "Hey, this happened to me, and I don't really know what this is,
Right.
but I don't like it."
Yeah.
And you really didn't express your emotions
Yeah.
outside of
Right.
anger.
Right. Right.
That's what you had.
Yeah.
So When I was a kid, I was superly introverted. My mom says it now. She was so quiet. She never said anything. Even when she went to school, she'd come home and just go to her room, do her homework, read her books, but I didn't really say anything.
Yeah.
But
Is it because she didn't want to, or it's because
I don't
the
know that I
experience
felt like anybody thought that what I had to say was
was
important.
important?
That it mattered whether I said it or not. That nothing would change. That that the current state that I was in was going to stay this way.
Okay. So how are you dealing with that now? Do you still deal with it?
The feelings of anger and rage, not so much.
Okay.
Definitely, there's been a combination of kind of things happening. Definitely, my relationship with Christ evolving, like not just being religion, right? It's not being just this checklist of things that I'm doing right, but actually I felt like this encounter with God. And secondly, I had to, as I think as taboo as it often is in the Black community, of having to go find therapy, a counselor, someone that I can actually talk to and begin to deal with feelings, emotions, why I might feel the way that I feel about certain things. There was also mental instability with one of my parents. And so all those things that ended up kind of kind of forming who I was. Even I think ideally I'm pretty quiet anyway, right? I'm pretty reserved. And internally I feel like I can deal with some stuff, but I think just it wasn't going anywhere. Like I'm like swallowing down the feelings, but they weren't going anywhere. Like they were there and they would come out at the times where I felt like I was being attacked, times where I felt like I was being judged, where I felt like I was being misunderstood, or even times where I felt like I was being taken advantage of. Or, that kind of idea.
Like those are things that I feel too.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
I understand.
It's crazy because I felt like even after my first marriage, and it ended, of course, in divorce.
How long were y'all married?
We were. I think we were legally married about 5 years. Okay. But we were separated after 3.
Okay.
And so, having that time away, and it was probably around 27. When I would say I had an actual encounter with God. So this is far after college, after I have wrecked some people's lives.
Yeah.
He wasn't the only victim.
Okay. Not victim.
I'm not, because at this point I'm like, I'm not always like, I feel like I'm a villain in somebody's story. You know what I'm saying? To say that I'm not, I feel like that would be, ill-informed, or that I would, try to act or appear as if I was just holy and righteous. And I know I wasn't. So I was definitely the villain in a couple of people's stories. So after that, around 27, I remember I was attending, I don't know if I want to say the church out loud.
Okay, yeah.
But I was attending this particular church, and this was kind of my first experience on my own.
Okay.
With this kind of religion, relationship, all these kind of ideas. And the church was like really good at that space of giving me a good foundation. Of an understanding of relationship and not just religion.
I love that.
So at 27, I remember it was an Easter Sunday, and Tasha Cobb's song "For Your Glory" kept playing in my mind. And so after service, I get home and I'm thinking everything's okay, but my spirit is still it's still going, and this song is still replaying in my head over and over again. And I remember being crouched down in a corner, and I was like, if you're real, you're going to have to talk. You're going to have to talk to me right now. Like if this is not the culmination of who you are, God, you're going to have to show me something different. I didn't even know how to pray at that time. I didn't know what else to say, but you're going to have to show me that you're real. Because if not, then I knew that I would find myself in an even more destructive space.
And I feel like you have to have those kind of conversations with God. Like, Show me.
Because, come on.
Because something ain't...
Something not matching. The math's not matching.
I mean, this person saying this person saying that, but for me, I need to see something. I need to hear your voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I found myself in those spaces. And he's actually came through.
Come through.
Yeah.
Come
every single time too.
Every single time.
Yeah.
And I think you know, and I know because of the sexual abuse that I experienced as a kid, it carried over into my adulthood. Okay. So even after I divorced, even at 27, when I feel like I'm kind of finding my way in kind of this space with God, all those things of sexuality were it just felt like it was sitting on me. Yeah. It was almost like a space where it was uncontrollable. You know, where there was not, and so I ended up using those encounters, right, to mask pain, to mask emotions. So you got that coupled with alcoholism, right, and this kind of abuse of alcohol to kind of drown out what's really going on. And so even though it didn't look like or appear, right, you see somebody that has an issue with alcohol and you can see it, right? It shows up in their face, in their demeanor, in their behaviors. It wasn't showing up like that for me because I was at home. So I'm not out in the street. I'm not out there embarrassing myself. They can't see it. Yeah. And nobody's asking me about it. So the people that were the closest in my life, nobody's saying, "Hey, Ashley, you probably shouldn't be doing this." This is
not holding you accountable.
Was not.
Do you think they cared?
I think it was probably a combination of them being more invested in their own lives, you know, and who can blame is, you know, life be lifing. Yeah. You know, in the mix of their own lives. And I think that because I felt like I carried it well and I was quote unquote the strong friend or the strong sibling or, you know, what my mom would say, "Oh, you're the voice of reason, you know, for this family." And so I think having that kind of it was really more of like a mirage, right? Because I knew that it wasn't my reality, right? But because nobody could really tell me to stop. Yeah. Nobody could really say to me. And at that time, I felt like if somebody would have said to me, "Ashley, you know what? I don't think you should drink that much." I probably would have told them you should mind your business. Yeah. So
because I feel like there's a season for things. Yeah. And a lot of times you have to be ready to receive. Yeah. To receive the help. To receive, okay, I'm ready to get better. I'm ready for something new. Yeah. Something different because this ain't working no more.
It's not working.
Yeah.
I feel like it's like when you get to the end of you, right? When you get tired of being sick and tired of being sick and tired. And it's almost that space where God is like, well, I'm just waiting for you to come to the end of you.
Girl. Okay, so listen, there's a song that has been speaking to me. It's called Always There or Always on Time.
Okay.
And of course I was tossed in the water, but I never went under. Jesus, you're always on time. When I went through the fire, you were right there beside me. You were always on time. And the reason why he's always on time is because he's always beside you.
Always.
He never leaves you.
Never leaves.
Whenever we need him, he's right there. We may feel like he's far because we have separated ourselves from him. Yeah. But the reality of it is he's right here. So he's always going to be on time. He's just waiting for us.
That's so funny. Because even when I'm talking to God, right, and I mean, you can call it prayer for me. I just kind of call it a conversation, right, with my daddy, and I'm always like, God, I thank you for being here, or you know, I want you to be present with me, and I have to remind myself, like, oh no, you are here, right? I don't even if I'm just having a conversation with you, you live on the inside of me. So if you live in me, it doesn't matter where I am. What I'm there.
Yeah.
He's
Holy Spirit. Yeah.
Right here.
Yeah. Right here. Yeah. Okay, so that's your 20s.
That's my 20s.
So entering into your 30s. Yeah. So how is that?
Oh, so 30s was dramatic.
Okay.
I want to say it got so much better. So dramatic.
Okay.
Sorry, I'm telling you. Okay, so I just listen.
Okay.
It was so dramatic. Because like I didn't right in my 20s, I didn't get the help, right? I knew I needed it, I didn't get it. I come into my 30s,
Mhm.
I'm encountered. I didn't get it right. Knew I needed it. Didn't get the help. Rolled right into my 30s.
Yeah.
And again, another, issue with being sexually violated, right?
Okay.
By an ex.
Okay.
In my home.
Okay. And y'all were
So
together.
we had broken up.
Okay.
And I didn't know I still had a key to my space.
Okay.
And so this happens, right?
Mhm.
Right at 30.
Okay.
So where I feel like that space between 27 and 30 where there could have been some level of relief or, it literally compounded right on top of each other again. And so that's another thing that kind of went in my basket of secrets, right? Because I'm like, I'm not going to say anything to anybody because who's going to do something about it? He didn't even live in the state anymore, right? So this happened and he left.
Okay.
And so I think at the time there were two friends that I was really close with in that season of my life, and I told them about it. But what's crazy, and that's what's like, it's always this kind of intertwining, is that as I'm coming to understand what God is calling me to, I had started this kind of ministry for women. And so me and these two friends we're like out and we're like doing Bible studies and having kind of ministry events and things like that.
Yeah.
But on the back end, as I am committing to God to not do certain things, it was literally, it felt like this force that would just continuously pull me back into these sexual spaces that I didn't want to be a part of anymore.
Yeah.
But it was almost like this magnet, like all this bond, right? That just kept pulling me back into these spaces. And I couldn't understand it. I couldn't. I was like, I don't get it, you know. And I feel like maybe right around so 30, this happened at 30. So right at 34 is when I had got into a space where somebody they saw me, right?
Yeah.
And they were like, this is how I got into teaching. They were like, you know what, I really think you should go through this program and do this whole teaching thing. At the time I wasn't thinking about it. I was like, I'm definitely not a teacher. I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
But I felt this pull from God. I really felt like, okay, I think I need to move forward and do this anyway.
Yeah.
But by this time, so I've got two daughters. I had a daughter when I was married, and so that's my middle baby. And so I'm kind of walking through life. I feel like halfway connected.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Kind of half connection to God,
Yeah.
but I'm still very connected to the world,
Yeah.
right? I
Yeah.
can't really shake the what's happening. So as I feel closer to God, at the same time I feel further away.
Yeah.
Because I keep going back
Yeah. Yeah.
into these spaces where sin just keeps dividing.
Right. Right.
And so 34, 35 happens, and get into teaching. I'm going through this program and I feel like things are going to get better. Okay. Maybe around, I feel like maybe 33, I met a prophetess or a prophet, however you want to, and she really started showing me deliverance, right? Okay. So like deliverance, and kind of talking me through and understanding what deliverance looks like, right? So then I start to kind of piece everything together. It's like, I don't know, you're feeling this kind of pull because you're still connected, right? There's still a spiritual connection outside of what I'm seeing in the natural. And so it's so funny that this even came to my mind, but I feel like deliverance became my ministry at that time. I really was invested with her in understanding deliverance, having my own deliverance kind of sessions and really dealing with some spiritual kind of strongholds and bonds and ties that kept pulling that thing that kept pulling me back.
Yeah.
And so when I began to understand that, it's where I felt like things kind of started to break off and I was able to move forward. It's 34, 35, yeah. That kind of happened.
And so when that happened for you, were you seeing more of you could see the light?
I felt like I
could. Okay.
I felt like I could.
Okay.
I really felt like a lot of my life had been dark. And even though, like I said, I had been walking through it, I felt like I was walking through it very disconnected from it.
Okay.
Kind of like how you're watching yourself. It felt like I was watching myself walk through this life, but I really had no idea what I was doing.
So after that, and after deliverance and all of that, did you try love again?
I did.
Okay. How was it?
Oh my goodness. Well, at the time, I thought that it was going to be again this kind of space where I felt like I understood marriage a little bit better, kind of understood the principles of it and covenant. And so I did enter into a second marriage.
Okay.
It lasted 1 year to the date that I was married. It ended. There was a lot of I feel like things that were unspoken. Even though a lot of questions were asked and even some level of counseling, once we got into the marriage, everything just kind of started to unfold on itself.
Okay. Was there counseling before marriage?
There was counseling before marriage. And even in the counseling before marriage, I kind of felt this kind of disconnect, right? I felt like we weren't fully connected in what we wanted life to look like, right? But we had we're in this space where the advice that was being given was kind of like, no, this is okay. Like this is kind of natural. You all will kind of just flow into it, as you're married and you start and things start coming together for you. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, off of that kind of counsel or advice, I went on and went through with the marriage, right?
Would you recommend that for anybody? Or would you say to listen to yourself, or I don't know how to say.
So I definitely think premarital counseling is a must.
Yes.
It's an absolute.
It's
an absolute.
Yeah. Me and Nick got counseling when we were dating.
Yes. Listen, and I'm for that as well. Yes. I'm like, for one, because we're not wasting time.
No, we knew that we wanted something bigger. Yeah. So why not? And we needed it. We needed it.
Yeah.
And it's helped.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amen. So definitely that, right? Definitely the premarital at the very least, right?
At the very least.
Couples counseling, all that stuff, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I feel like that because I had reservations that I should have waited.
Okay.
Right? That I don't believe at the time that I was brave enough to say, still, even though I had been through some deliverance and things like that, I still had no counseling, right?
Yeah.
At that point, no counseling still.
And this was years of what
I was dealing with, right?
Yeah.
And so even though there were some reservations on my end, I was really leaning on the wisdom of those that I thought were more wise than I was, right? Off of their advice. I would suggest though that if you have reservations, to wait. To wait. Because I don't and I never want to play the blame game, right? Because I feel like at the end of the day, I'm accountable for me.
Yeah. And
all the decisions that I've made in my life. And so and I tell my daughter this, right? If I can be a warning to you.
Yeah.
A precautionary kind of, situation is that if you have reservations, just wait. And if it's what God said, then all these things will come together, right?
Yeah.
Wait, have more counseling.
Yeah.
Come back together, ask more questions. And if it's not the connection that you thought it was, it's okay to say. let's not do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's not do it.
And it's not even worrying about other people and their thoughts and their opinions, because they're not even living your life.
Not living my life.
They have nothing to do with you.
Absolutely nothing.
And they don't really care.
They like to have
They
something
like
to say.
Yes, they like to have their own opinion.
Yeah.
But that will not do anything for you inside of a marriage.
Absolutely not.
Or anything else.
Or right, for that matter, because they're not in it.
They're not in it.
And I feel like, there was definitely still for me some people pleasing, happening, some spaces where I felt like I would have felt embarrassed by not going forward with it.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm like, no, that it now, I mean, of course, looking back, I'm like, no, the counseling definitely was needed then, right? Counseling for myself, to kind of deal in those spaces where I could feel like my voice, when I spoke, that my voice was heard, that it carried some level of weight and that people actually listened.
Yeah.
And at that time, I didn't believe it. And honestly, it probably wasn't until I started teaching that I felt like I had a voice again to some degree. But leaving that, my second marriage, that took a toll on me.
Okay.
That
lasted a year?
That lasted a year.
Okay.
But I felt very defeated because I'm like, I've been married twice, and 2 times I found myself divorced and alone.
Okay.
And I felt very alone.
Okay.
So coming out of that, for anyone that's ever felt like that from a divorce, and especially if there's been multiple ones, the amount of time that you need to heal from those spaces, I always suggest to do that.
Yeah.
Right? Because I don't know that we know how much damage, emotional damage, is done.
Yeah.
Because it's really grief, right? It's a loss.
Yeah.
And if we're not grieving the loss, that's heavy.
Yes.
And that was weighing heavy on me.
Yes.
And so even though I was seeing God move in my life, and I was seeing my life progress in a forward way in some areas of my life, my emotional intelligence was trash. It was in the trash.
Wow. You had to go and look for it.
Wait a minute.
I
had ate that yogurt earlier. Maybe sadness fell down there somewhere.
Where's that?
Yeah. No, definitely felt like that.
Did you ever feel depressed?
Oh, I'm sure that I had some spaces of depression, very quiet times. And I think because I was naturally going to go inward anyway, right? That I could have spent, and I know I did, I could have spent months in the house and no one would have ever said anything. Jeez. Because I had created such a habit of doing that, right? And appearing dressing nice, and nothing on my face says
had your smile
that I'm going through anything. Wow. And so if you don't see me, if you don't know me, you won't ever ask.
Wow.
And so I was banking on people not asking, right?
Yeah.
I was banking on being able to
mask. Yeah.
And it would be fine.
Because that's what people who go to church are good at.
We're good at this.
It can be. Now,
listen,
let's be real.
Because I'm in ministry, and I'm praying for people, and all these things, and let me just I do not recommend.
No,
I do not recommend. And let me tell you, I know, people could probably have their different opinions about this. But one thing that I learned throughout this entire journey that I've been on thus far, especially with ministry and healing and places of healing, is that, even if your leader is telling you it's okay to still use your gifts or go and work on this team or work on that team. I shouldn't have been doing that. I should not have. I guess if you can say, my wish has always been that someone would have seen me. And even if I didn't like them telling me that, hey, you know what, maybe you should sit this one out. Even if I didn't like it, I would have respected it more.
Yeah.
I would have respected them telling me that, and me having to go back to God and say, I really need to stop.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't like what they said.
Yeah.
I didn't. But nobody ever said it. And so even by that time, I felt like I was a little bit more expressive in what I was saying out loud,
Yeah.
right? I felt like I had found a space or a home at a fellowship where I felt like there were some people that I could come to and get some counsel from,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I don't fault them for this, right? Because I feel like they were doing what they thought they should have done, right? Encouraging me and not so much calling me out in my sin.
Yeah.
I would have rather, though, if I'm honest, or
Yeah.
would have rather them called me out.
And I love that though, because I feel like I don't know if there's just been so much judgment and shame put on people, but even with that, I feel like that shows the love that you have for God. You know?
Yeah.
Like, because we see things,
Yeah.
right?
We
In
do.
ministry,
We
you
do.
can see it.
Yeah.
And you see people suffering.
Yeah.
You see, but why is there such a hold on sharing? Hey, how are you doing? Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
Like, I see that this is going on.
Yeah.
Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, like literally just talk, not even just saying, oh,
You're this.
or you're sitting at your,
Yeah.
but literally just talking to
Talk
them
about it.
and seeing what can we do to help you.
Yeah.
What can we
Yeah.
do?
And I listen, I cannot agree with you more here because like I was saying earlier when we first started, I really feel most comfortable on one-on-one conversations, right? Getting to know people.
Yeah.
And even though I was going through my own things, I was building relationships with people, right?
Yeah.
One-on-one. I would go to their homes and I would because I'm also a braider, right? So I braid, right?
Yeah.
And so I would go to their homes and I would braid their hair or I would braid their kids' hair. I'm getting to know their husbands or getting to know their wives or knowing their kids' names and like showing up to birthday parties or baby showers, and things like that. Because really internally, what I desired is for someone to show up for me in that same way.
That part.
Just see me.
Yeah, just see me.
Can you not see that I'm crying? Like I'm literally
Don't just
crying.
see me, but hear me.
Hear me.
And hear what I'm saying, even when I'm not saying
it, right? Let's read between the lines.
Because if you ask me, how are you doing? Oh, I'm okay.
I'm good. Or even, I felt like there were some times where I would get encouragement, right? And there would be things like, oh, I can't wait to see when you are really flourishing or when you're really happy. And I'm like, no, you just need to say what you see.
Right. Listen, I'm trying to have a talk. Like, that's all I need. I just want to talk to somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
I definitely felt like because like that it the only place it can lead to without, I feel like, proper like I guess maybe discipleship or proper just having someone there, right, that you can talk to that will give you their honest like feedback, right? Because let's be honest, even as a teacher, like I got some really hard feedback in the beginning, right? As I was trying to learn the profession, right? As I was trying to understand what administration wanted from me, and then understanding my children, right? My kids, my students, because I mean, at the end of the day, they were my kids, right? And I'm teaching high school,
right?
So there's all kind of things in development going on, right? Administration wants you to teach this certain thing, but I got a kid over here who's emotionally broken. So I feel like that was similar to the space that I was in, is that I'm trying to learn the gifts, right? Trying to understand the gifts and learn this and show up in ministry and show up for people while at the same time I'm like one of my students and I'm like, I'm really emotionally on the struggle bus.
Because we pour out so much where it's the pour out where people are just like, oh, they're good.
Yeah.
Because they're pouring out.
She's anointed. She oily.
Not knowing that the more you're pouring out, the more empty
I feel. And so I feel like I like the only place that it could have led to was this place where kind of like the rubber met the road, right? Well, there was going to be some level of destruction before I came out of this.
Yeah.
I didn't see it then, right? Because I'm again, I feel like I'm walking through this life, but I'm watching myself walk through this life, and so I'm not. I'm moving, even though I'm moving at the point where I feel like God is leading me to. There's still this disconnect.
Wow.
And so it could have only led to, again, this space, this crossroads. It really was like a wreck. Literally, it felt like a train wreck. Like I was going across the railroad track and I thought I was going to make it across, and the train just said, smashed. And that's where I came to after the second divorce. Even though I was teaching, I felt like I got back on my feet. I felt like I was in a good space. And in a lot of places in my life, what I did not do, and like I said, is allowed for the healing to happen, right? Allowed for even having conversations with God, right? I wasn't even having conversations with him for real. Because I was like, yeah, I'm pretty much done with it. I did what you told me to. I did what I felt like you told me to do, right? Even when I was in this and in that second marriage, man, you talking about learning how to be an intercessor. You're talking about learning how to get on your face and pray and cry out before God, lay prostrate, find yourself in a space where all you can do
is pray.
And
and I feel like prayer comes in layers, because you can lay on your face, but then it's also the prayer of you just sitting on a couch and you're missing God. It's just like, okay, hey God,
hey,
I miss you.
Yeah.
I really do miss you. Let me tell you how my day was. Like, it's literally that kind of conversation.
And that's it.
And that's it. Like, once you get to a place where you miss God, I feel like God is just really pull, like you can really feel the pull.
Oh no, absolutely. At this point right now, I kind of have this saying every morning I get up, I'm like, good morning, Daddy. And if I find myself like in the shower, or I feel like I've already eaten breakfast, and I'm like, did I not? Wait a minute. Did I not greet you this morning? It's literally what you said. You can kind of feel, right? You can feel that pulling. And I was feeling that, but I was angry. Oh, I was. Whew. I was at the peak, like, of anger. And now, mind you, again, I'm still ministering. I also dance, so I'm still dancing. I'm still ministering. I'm still praying. I'm still encouraging people. And found myself crossing paths in the next relationship. And this is what I was talking about. What I did not know is at that meeting that everything about my life, if I thought it had been downhill before, that, oh baby, that I was about to be tumbling down a hill at a rapid pace.
Okay.
But I didn't know. I didn't know that that's what was going to happen. And for me, it was all about me not allowing God to do what he needed to do with me after that second marriage. Me not being fully honest with God about where I was. Because I was angry with God. I was, forget other people. I'm just angry with you. Because no. This is not happening. This did not happen again. You know, where I felt like I was better prepared, right? The second time around, and then the way that it ended was, I felt like almost as devastating as, if not more than, the first time. And
it's because of what you gave.
What I gave. And I was like, no, like I was ready. And God, what happened? You know, like, no, like me and you have had conversations and we've talked. I've been your wife. I've been your wife. I was your wife. So what is happening? And so that's really where I was. All the years of brokenness, all the years that I had, of all the words left unsaid, of all the emotions unexpressed, I had determined in my mind, you know what? I'm good. I don't need marriage. I'm good I'm off all these things. And I'm good. I'll be with somebody that doesn't want those things too. And that's my dear.
So did you meet anyone else after your second marriage?
I did.
Okay.
And that was the encounter that I did not know would probably be the most dangerous for me.
Okay.
Absolutely most dangerous for me. And I didn't even see it coming.
Wow.
Didn't see it
So
coming.
how did y'all meet?
We met on a dating. It was actually on a Facebook dating.
Okay.
Is how we met.
Okay.
Yeah. It appeared very innocent. Very some commonalities that I now know is more trauma bonding and not really commonalities in that way. And I think because I had set myself up, right? I had set myself up and decided that, well, I'm just gonna, I'm gonna next person I date is gonna be the person that don't want to be married and don't want this and don't want that, and we can just do whatever we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And so speaking those things, right? And even if I never spoke them out loud, I knew what my heart said.
Yeah.
I knew where my heart was and that what I had determined in my heart, right?
Yeah.
And so the initial meeting it felt safe. It felt unassuming. And I felt like, oh, I got this handled. I got this. I can do this. I'm strong. I've been here before, and so I can handle this.
Yeah.
And I feel like one thing happened after the other, right?
Okay.
Some very, some situations where I felt like anybody in their right mind would have been like, yeah, I'm not dating you. This is wild.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why are you doing these things?
Right.
And initially I did, right? I broke it off initially. After a situation happened that was just, it was so outrageous that you were like, what in the world? Like, what? Why would you think you would ever get away with this?
Yeah.
And I did. I initially broke it off, and but in that process, I ended up. This is how I got my youngest daughter.
Okay.
So, after we had met, prior to that, I had been abstaining.
Okay.
But when I got with him, one thing led to another. We ended up, of course, kind of foregoing that abstinence. And I got pregnant like 2 months after I met him.
Okay.
And so even that initial kind of thing where he wasn't sure if he wanted to be around or that would have even for some people been the thing. And they're like, okay, you cool. You don't have to be here. Let's go ahead. And but I gave him a chance anyway. Well, I'll give you some time to decide. And so then he makes this mistake, and I'm like, oh no, we're done with this. We're out. And during this time, COVID happened, right? So we're right in the middle of COVID.
Yeah, already a crazy time.
It was so crazy. Which I felt like just then cocooned me into this kind of space with him, right?
Oh yeah.
So I'm even more isolated, right? Even more away from people that I know. At this point, I've got friends that I know that see me, right? That I know care for me. But I'm not even talking to them about these things, right? I'm not even having conversations with them about what's going on fully. And so that happened. A situation comes up where I'm in need of housing. And so out of the goodness of his heart, he offers housing for me and my daughters. And what turned into what I thought was just kind of like a good gesture, right? It turned into a whole nother situation. And so I think just that a particular relationship went off and on for 3 years. By the end of it, God was like, no. Listen, daughter, we're not doing this anymore, right? So he's like, I remember him asking me. So there were some things going on with ministry, where I had an opportunity to be an elder, right? So some things were happening there with ministry, as far as teaching was going on. I was still teaching, right? This had become stable income for me. I loved where I was, and all of that. But that relationship was crumbling. It was disastrous, to say the least, and of course, in any relationship, everybody holds some level of accountability, right? More or less in the person or whatever. And so for me, I had to take accountability for Ashley and the decisions that I made, even when I knew, again, right, that kind of space where you're like, this don't feel right.
Yeah.
I probably should not be doing this.
Yeah.
But Ashley's gonna do what Ashley's gonna do. And so I'm still moving forward, knowing that, like, yeah, this is not good. So spiritually, I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Physically, I'm starting to see it. I had seen it. Right.
Yeah.
And so I seen the destruction.
Yeah.
And I remember I was driving back from Kentucky one night, went to a service by myself, wanted to go support a friend. I was coming back, and I remember God asked me, he said, do you want me, or do you want basically all these other things? Before you get the question, I'll say, no, God, I want you. You don't have to ask me twice, right? No, I absolutely want you, before you could even get the full question out. And I remember making it home, and we lived up on a 3rd-story apartment. And as I looked up, and it's so funny, right? Because now I find myself feeling like I was in a fairy tale kind of story. What is that with Rapunzel? Remember when Rapunzel was kind of like in that tower situation? That's where I felt like I was. So I look up in this space where I am, right? And I remember God saying, I'm gonna make a way. What he said to me, he said, I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna save your life. And I thought, okay. Okay. So you asked me this question on the way home, right? And then I get home, and I'm looking, and at this point, I'm over it.
Yeah.
I'm over the whole thing.
Yeah.
And God said, I'm going to show you how I'm going to save your life. And he created a way of escape for me that even if I were to tell all the details, somebody would be like, ain't no way that. No, it absolutely did. And he's made a way of escape for me on more than one occasion.
Wow.
And so, like I said earlier, when I was like, I didn't wake up loving God. Yeah. He woke up, like I woke up and he loved me, right?
Yeah.
But I woke up and I didn't love God. But at that point in my life, when I was waking up, I was loving God out of my obedience, right? Because he's like, how can you say you love me if you don't obey me?
Right.
So out of my obedience, I was showing God how much I loved him, even when it didn't make any sense. But all I had at that point was to trust in him, and to lean on an understanding that I had no idea about.
Wow.
No idea about.
Wow.
And, I was really favored in that what could have been even worse didn't go there. And it was simply because when God asked me that question, I believe if I had given a different answer, that I would have seen a different ending. And so I think back on it, because that was, I think I met him at 35. So around that 34, 35 year, right? When I'm going into teaching, and these things are very prosperous for me, in that avenue. And at 38, that God made that way of escape for me.
Okay. Praise God.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
And so it's like I couldn't, even if we had time,
Yeah.
right, for me to tell all the details,
It's
it's nothing,
Yeah.
compared to what God actually did in that situation.
And that's when you know it's God.
That's when you know it's God.
Yeah.
And from that time, and not that I had not served him before, right? Not that I didn't feel like I had a relationship with him, but it was something about that time that I've never looked back. I've never looked back.
Wow.
And that was just 2 years ago, right? So even in all the complexities of me kind of going back and forth, right, into these spaces where, well, Ashley does what Ashley wants to do, that moment for me, absolutely, I was like, oh no, I'm never looking back. You couldn't pay me enough. You couldn't offer me enough things for me to turn to be like, no, I'm not. I'm gonna do what Ashley do. Absolutely, no, I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm good.
Yeah,
I tried that. And had I done it my way, I possibly could not be sitting here talking to you right now. I
Wow.
know that to be true. I seen it.
Yeah.
I seen where it was going without it ever
So,
going there.
did that develop you writing a book?
Oh yeah. Oh,
Okay.
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 Okay. Because this is stuff I didn't mention about
Okay.
myself, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I was like, y'all ain't gonna miss it. It's fine. It's fine. They don't need to know all that. No, absolutely.
Okay.
So writing for me, and I haven't mentioned this before, right? Writing has been my escape.
Okay.
It's been my escape for a very long time,
Mm-hmm.
from high school to college, through my 20s, through my
Yeah.
30s.
Yeah.
I've got countless number of journals, right, where I've expressed my heart, where I've talked about things, even times where God was like, "No, I need you to write this," and I'm like, "Yeah." Listen, I had a little blog at one point, right?
Oh,
Listen.
okay.
Had a little blog, right, and
Yeah.
writing, right. Orally communicating, I never felt very strong in that space,
Mm-hmm.
of course, until later in life. But writing was always a thing. And so after this, I remember I was already actually in the process of writing a different book
Okay.
that I felt like God was leading me into, right? And I was
Okay.
kind of pity paddling, kind of writing a little bit, kind of not.
Yeah.
And I remember I was having a conversation at that time with another teacher that was a neighbor with me at that time.
Mm-hmm.
And she looks at me and she's like, you're going to write this book. And I thought, what? I'm not going to,
Yeah.
there's no way. I'm
Yeah.
not writing about this. And she said, oh no, you absolutely will.
Ooh.
And I thought, there's no way.
Okay.
There's no way I'm putting my,
Yeah.
no, I'm not doing
Yeah.
that. I got back to my classroom and immediately God gave me the title for the book and he began to talk to me about how I'm going to write this out. I was nowhere near healed. I wasn't even fully escaped yet.
Wow.
He starts talking to me about this and I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to be able to do this.
Wow.
So writing has definitely always been a big part of my life.
Wow.
And I never thought of myself as an author, any of those things.
Yeah.
But God was like,
I've got some things for you that you don't really
know about.
Yeah.
So this definitely, that last relationship definitely sparked the writing of this book.
Okay. What's the type? Okay.
Let me see the book. So y'all, so I'm gonna give you the title, right? I'm gonna give you the main title, and it's called Stuck Loving Me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I like to kind of this idea of a play on words, right?
Mm-hmm.
What I found in that relationship, and I think the discussion about this particular issue is more highlighted now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is just some very kind of narcissistic behaviors happening.
That's literally what I was just reading.
Come on.
Go on. Go.
Some very narcissistic behaviors within that relationship, right?
Can you label some behaviors?
Absolutely.
Okay.
And again, like I said, I feel like it's being more highlighted in the media, kind of social media arena, whatever, but some things of what they call like gaslighting. And it is where the person you're in relationship with, and now understand the narcissistic type of behaviors. This could happen in any type of relationship. So I don't want to just place it in a romantic kind of love relationship, because this happens in mother-daughter, ministry, friendships, mother-daughter relationships, father-son, all these types of relationships, right? These things can happen. And really, again, gaslighting, right? So things happen where the person should be hold themselves accountable for for the result of what happened, but somehow you feel like you're the blame every time this happens. Like every time a situation comes up, all of a sudden, you're the person that blames, right? At the beginning of that relationship, why things felt so safe is what is called love bombing. It's like this, for some people, it's gifts on top of gifts on top of gifts, right? It's a physical thing, right? They will, and again, mine was a love relationship, right? So this is where the kind of space I'm speaking through, but they will, use all that they have, right? All of their charisma, and they usually have great charisma, right? They're usually very, for the most part, at the beginning, they're going to use everything they have, whether it's intelligence and whatever level that is, whether even ministry, right? They'll use it in a spiritual sense, right? Where they will bomb you with all the things that they feel like makes a good relationship, right? Makes you feel safe, makes you feel like that you don't have to worry about anything, right? But that can only last for so long.
Yep.
It only lasts for so
So
long,
long.
right? And for me, it was subtle, right? It was small things that was happening that I would see happening outside of our relationship, but it wasn't happening inside of our relationship. Like it would happen with other people, but it would happen with me. And so I felt like, well, he would not do that to me, right? Like we've never had that issue. So it can be that kind of very subtle space, but and then when that love bombing ends, right? Those dopamine highs kind of come down. Um, it can kind of go in a lot of ways, right? I know I've talked to a lot of women, after my situation ended, and a lot of them didn't come out so easy. There can be some physical abuse. Definitely for me, what I experienced most was emotionally I was drained, tapped. Mentally I was tapped. It's almost like this mental play.
Wow.
And it makes you feel like you're going crazy. Makes you feel like you're going crazy. And if they know, right, so that kind of love bombing at the beginning kind of sets you up to kind of tell your whole life, right? So now they got the goods on you, right? They know everything that you want, everything you desire, the things that make you smile and give you joy. And, whether that's marriage or whether that's, whatever that looks like, right? Because at that beginning, you feel very safe and very secure when you feel like, right, you're sharing, right? You feel like you can be transparent. This person's not going to hurt me, like I can lay my feelings out. Kind of on the table for them, and that's kind of where it is. I've also, talked to women where this has occurred in kind of a mother-daughter type of relationship, where they feel almost an obligation to keep showing up for that parent, even though that parent is not showing up for them.
Draining.
Draining, right? For others, it has turned into, like I said, physical abuse, or they will do things to provoke a response from you so that then they can have a reason why they acted the way they did.
So crazy.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
I will say this, right? I think I felt, I know earlier I said I felt alone out of my second marriage, but I think I felt the most alone, or as if people had chosen sides with this relationship. I pretty much lost everything, from me having to adjust, right, life. So some friendships, some relationships that I really thought were kind of solid. And I kind of talk about it in the book, right? I'm not naming any names in the book. I'm not doing any of that, right? I really believe, even in the book of Revelation, I think it's chapter 12, where it talks about how we overcome by the blood of the Lamb and the word of our testimony, right? And so even this book is kind of set up like a stage play, because it's almost how you feel like you're in a play, like the drama of it, the playing on sides of it, the story within a story.
Like a plot.
It's like a plot, right? This whole plot setup.
Yes.
And so, right, like I said, I feel like in every relationship there's a level of accountability. And so I could easily play the blame game, right? But in order for me to grow, in order for me to be able to minister and to have a testimony, I felt like, no, I need to take accountability for my own actions, right? For my own decisions. And so really, what I want to unmask, and the whole idea is kind of unmasking the nature of narcissism, right? Unmasking some spiritual things that end up being connected to it. If you're there, right? If that's the place that you're in, you don't have to be. to read it. But it will help, right? Because what I've come to understand is that that person that is expressing those particular behaviors, they didn't come. It didn't just randomly show up, right? These were things that were developed
From
long before, from the childhood, right?
Girl, my God. Yeah.
From their childhood, you know. And as adults, they have not developed in the way, right? And we talk about psychology. Listen, I'm not even going to tell you how at this point, I'm getting my master's degree in clinical mental health and counseling.
Yeah.
Because counseling was a part of this way of escape.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
And when I got to that point and I was able to express the emotions, when I was able to express what I had been through and where I was and how I got there, I was like, wait a minute, this might work.
Yeah.
This works.
Yes.
Right. This works.
Yeah.
And so as I was writing this particular book, I would ask God at every chapter, right? What is it that you really want me to talk about? Right. There's a chapter we talk about if you've ever done like a play or been in a movie or setup or anything like that, you've got an antagonist, right? You've got a protagonist, you've got the person that this kind of movie or plot is set up around, right? But then you've also got the antagonist where this is the relationship, right? And so for me, I felt like I was that person that didn't even know I was on stage. I didn't even know I was in the play. Didn't even know I was in the movie. Didn't know. I didn't audition for the part. None of this.
He said, wow.
The
lights. Action.
Oh, okay.
Here I am.
Well, just showed up, right? Just showed up for the show.
Yeah.
But doing that, right, I learned some very valuable lessons in accountability, in healing, in taking the necessary time to grieve a loss, to really be honest with God, to be honest with myself, to get the help that I need. Nobody else needed to tell me that I needed help. I knew that I needed help. I knew it.
Yeah.
And I wanted someone else so bad to tell me, Ashley, you need help.
Yeah.
But I knew I needed help.
Yeah.
It's like any addiction, right? And we may not see it as that, but that's how I see it, right? It's like any addiction. It's not that you don't know you need help. You know you do, but you like the way it makes you feel for that momentary amount of time. And then when that high is gone, you go try again to reach that same place, right? Get that same mental kind of dopamine hit. And it's never really the same.
Yeah.
It's never really the same.
Wow. So do yourself a favor, and I actually need to get this myself. Stuck Loving Me, The True Nature of Narcissism, Unmasking the Strong Man by Ashley Ray. Please get this book. Please.
It's on Amazon.
Amazon.
It's on Amazon.
Get it.
They're right on there.
Get it. And when you get it, follow her, message her, and tell her how much it's helped you.
So easy read. It's only like 77 pages.
77 pages, y'all. It's not even super small print. You can read this. I can read this. Okay, let's be real. Okay, me and books, my
attention span. Like
he does the books. He has a whole library. Me,
she's like, no.
I was started. Okay,
it was good. 2 pages I read,
and I forget about it.
Yeah, that's real.
But this one, I want to read this one. What's a piece of encouragement you can give to the ladies who's experience or are experiencing what you have?
If I could say anything, it would have to be one, to trust yourself, right? If you feel like things are not right, if you're seeing physically that this is not, you're seeing all these red flags, like this might have been okay at first, but right now this is not okay, right? If you find yourself right in the middle of it, and I know a lot of times the advice is, girl, just leave. It's not that easy, right? It's not that easy. I would encourage every woman, any woman that finds themselves in that position, to seek the necessary help that they need to be able to leave the situation in one piece.
Yeah.
I didn't. I was broken in a lot of different pieces. But I took what I had left. And it wasn't anything physical.
Yeah.
I tell you, I gathered up what little bit of emotions I had left, mental capacity, spiritually, the things that I had, and I packed it and I left.
What did you pack it in?
It wasn't much, just like a little.
Listen,
listen, and having community, right? I think having community is second thing that I feel like is super important. The right community, right? The people that will hold you accountable even when it hurts.
Yes.
That will give you truths.
Yes.
Even when they're like, yeah, you probably gonna be mad at me.
Yeah.
But I have to tell you this, right?
Yeah.
And so if you decide not to take what they said, then that's on you, right? Yeah. That's on you. But that community can be life-saving.
Yeah.
I kind of talk about that a little bit in there as well. Okay. And lastly, and it's not even really last, it's really first, because I believe in God. I believe in the truths of his word, his principles, that he is who he says that he is.
He is.
And if you do not have a relationship with our Creator, to find yourself in this, you don't even have to you don't even have to get to a church in 2025. Yeah. Okay? You don't have to get to a physical space to call on the name of God.
Right.
Because he's a very present help in the time of trouble.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's what I would say.
I love that. Wow. How do you feel?
Listen, I feel a relief. Okay. So nervous.
Wow.
But I feel a relief.
Wow. You unpacked a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
And I appreciate that. And I know the people that are listening appreciate it as much as I do. Because this is what it's all about.
There's
being real, being truthful, authentic.
Yeah.
And sharing you. A piece of you.
That's it.
You know, and I want y'all to know that you're not alone.
Nope.
And you have community.
Yeah.
If you feel like you don't, you have a piece of one right here.
Listen, for real.
Okay.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah. So thank you so much for coming on here. This was an honor just to sit here with you. Like, we've known each other.
Yeah.
But I don't know if we've just sat down.
I don't think so.
In passing, we have.
Yeah.
But not just us two.
Yeah.
And I really appreciated this.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, this was awesome.
It's good.
So y'all, thank y'all so much for sitting here and listening and watching. And I really do hope that you're able to get something from this. If you haven't already, check out the other episodes as well. But I'm just full right now. I really am. I really, really am. But I love y'all so much. And I will see you guys next time. Peace out.
All right.
Bye.
Time to fly, fly high.